super fast. Folks are honking at me, I guess, because I'm moving way too slow, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, so that's their business. But, you know, right now, these conditions aren't getting any better. I'm in West Fargo. It seems as though that the conditions are just getting worse. It seems like the wind is moving faster and, you know, causing these whiteout conditions. Like, I can barely see. Went right here by Sandy's Donuts in West Fargo. I might have to stop and get me one considering these conditions that are happening. But yeah, folks will just have to slow down, take their time, and don't honk at folks that are going slow because they're trying to be patient and be safe. So reporting live in West Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
On behalf of everyone here in studio, stop. When you don't even need to fuel the car, you need to fuel yourself to continue this winter weather coverage. And look, it continues to even get worse. That visibility barely there. Please stay safe this morning, Nishay. Wow.
Yeah, she came up on the red light, didn't even see it until you were basically on it. Nishay, stay safe, thank you. But we want to get a check of what is actually coming down right now with the person leading our coverage this morning. That's Summer Schnellbach. She joins us now in studio with the very latest. Summer, it just keeps getting worse as we go on this morning.
It really does. We've had two very pesky and persistent heavy snow bands right through the metro. Two bands just within a matter of a couple of miles. Here's our view right now outside. This is I-94. University is just off screen here. This is I-94 moving through South Fargo. You can see a lot of snow still on the roads. Crews have been working, trying to keep up with this snowfall. Tough travel continues. Red light still for at least the next several hours. A few reports continuing to pile in. I want to break down the Fargo reports here quickly. As I mentioned, we have two very heavy bands right through the metro. South Fargo ranging from 5 to 9 inches of accumulation so far. The north end of town closer to 7 to 9 inches of accumulation. West Fargo just got a report in of 9.5 inches of snow, so that shows you just how narrow these heavy bands are. Natowash and Glendon also reporting 9 inches of accumulation. Here's what it looks like on the radar. You can see, even before I zoom in here, just this dark blue band. That's where the heaviest snowfall has been here for now a couple of hours, right through Fargo-Moorhead. You see that dark blue? That is some heavy snow coming down right now, right through the heart of the valley. And for reference, this is I-94 here right through town. So you kind of get a gauge of where you are in relation to the interstate there. So rough conditions this morning. And it comes with wind gusting to 37 miles per hour now in Fargo, creating those whiteout conditions. 43-mile-per-hour gust in Oaks. That's where visibility has been at 0 since we started our newscast at 4:30 this morning. Here in Fargo, visibility remains at a quarter mile. The morning commute is going to be rough, if not impossible in places, and it's not going to get better here soon. It's going to take several more hours to start to see any improvement in our conditions. We'll start to see the improvement first out west as snow decreases in intensity by around the lunchtime hour for eastern North Dakota, still hanging on to some rough conditions through the Central Valley and into northwestern Minnesota, west central Minnesota in specific, into this afternoon where the snow lingers a little bit longer. Temperatures falling through the day, and that wind remains gusty as well, leading to a cold night. Jordan, Ashland, I anticipate a general 1 to 3 inches of additional accumulation, but with the heavy banding that we have right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see isolated areas with several more inches than that still to come.
Wow, some are downright dangerous conditions for a lot of folks traveling across the metro and our entire region. Thank
Absolutely.
you for the update this morning. Let's send things over to Jordan now for a look at our road report.
Yeah, a lot of things that we need to go over this morning on that. We're talking about a lot of highway closures this morning. This is the state of North Dakota, more the central to southern half I'm zoomed in on. Every county that you see in red here today, that includes Cass, Barnes, Stutzman, Richland, along with really everyone neighboring the interstate there, up and down to the north and south of it, is in a no travel advisory. That means you should not be on the roads. In fact, some roads even closed this morning. Let's zoom in on that. So we're talking about I-29. Right there is Grand Forks south, going on I-29 south all the way through Fargo down to the South Dakota border this morning. It is closed. The interstate closed there. I-94 from West Fargo all the way across the state here, that solid red line to Bismarck, also closed this morning. We're talking about Highway 281 going to Jamestown, closed. Highway 52 from Jamestown to Fessenden this morning, also closed. Then we have Highway 46, 27, 13, and 11. Also closed this morning. Highway 13 as well, going off the interstate to Wahpeton this morning closed as well. There are other ones closed as well, and you can also get those updates on your VNL weather app, so watch out for that. But the rest of the area where you see these dotted red lines, like around Cooperstown, Findlay, and those are areas of no travel advised, so they're saying that there is going to be snow and ice on the road there. Taking a look at Minnesota here, I just want to refresh that map to make sure we're getting the very latest, because we're having crashes pop up on these maps every so many seconds here, so I want to make sure we're getting the very latest. Okay, so from going to East Grand Forks to Crookston on over to Bagley, we're talking about some partial coverage of the roads. Heading south to Mahnomen, Detroit Lakes Perham, full coverage on the road. I-94 from Moorhead going all the way down to St. Cloud, further to the cities, full coverage on the roads there. Highway 10, Moorhead all the way to Motley, also fully covered with snow. And I'm just going to count the crashes we have reported right now. One by Staples, one Wadena, one by Battle Lake, one by Alexandria, 3 just south of Brainerd, 1 by St. Cloud this morning. We're talking just about roughly 7 crashes being reported right now in the state of Minnesota. And that's not even all of them. There are other ones that likely aren't reported. But you can stay up to date on these conditions with us right here on the Valley today and throughout the day on your VNL News and weather apps. Ashlyn?
Yeah, we cannot stress this enough, Jordan. Travel downright dangerous today, folks. Schools also closing their doors or delaying the start of classes in many parts of the valley, all because of this morning's snowstorm. We've heard from more than 3 dozen districts, a few shutting down altogether, but most are either starting late or going virtual instead. Fargo and Moorhead, both among the districts holding classes virtually today. You can check the full list at valleynewslive.com. You should also check out if you have business at the airport this morning. We've been watching the flight status at Hector International all night and this morning. So far, we see 3 morning flights canceled. Our latest check of Grand Forks shows everything there on time, but of course, keep an app handy and be sure to look ahead. Changing gears now, it was a catastrophic collapse in California. Heavy snow buildup now being looked at as the cause of a porch that caved in the town of Forest Hill that led to the death of an elderly woman. Neighbors pulled the 80-year-old woman out from under the rubble last night.
She was in cardiac arrest and later died at the hospital. People living nearby say that snow was falling nonstop all day there. They got 3 feet in just 24 hours. It downed trees, snapped power lines, and even knocked out some power. Meanwhile, we are getting a look this morning at more devastation in California, this time caused by mud. Take a look at that video. This is in La Canada Flint Ridge, a severely damaged home after a mudslide smashed through that house.
Recent heavy rains also to blame. They've saturated and weakened the hillsides, causing the earth to completely give way. Wild weather for most of us nationally as well. This morning in our Consumer Alert, Nissan recalling more than 800,000 SUVs because a problem with a key fob that could cause the ignition to shut off while the car is in drive.
That recall covers certain Rogue and Rogue Sports models. Now impacted owners will be notified. Don't forget, today is the Miles for Smiles Drive. Make-A-Wish is collecting air miles to help make wishes come true for some special children.
Yeah, so if your flight gets canceled, go ahead and just resubmit those miles and donate them our way. We have the link to donate right there on our website, valleynewslive.com, and our free VNL News app, or call that number right there on your screen, 1-800-362-9474. In the meantime, everybody take a deep breath. The winter is far from over on our first day of March. We're so glad you could join us this morning.
Yeah, stay safe, everyone.